Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen from around the world. Today is 2nd of July 2023. So today is Sunday and I am your boy Wole coming to you live on this program. Yeah, I want to be telling you the topic that we'll be doing. Sorry for not coming off phone. I want to be telling you the topic that we'll be doing, running across or running along all this month of July. And that topic is simply, of course, you can easily guess the topic that I am bringing. You can easily guess the topic that I'm bringing. Let me give you a clue. Number one is that I desire to see problems solved with my country, Nigeria. I desire to see problems solved in Africa. People are terribly suffering. And then, so you could go ahead and guess the topic. Of course, you should know by now that the topic is going to be nothing but love. Love is the topic. And you see, this topic of love is so important that I am flabbergasted. I am taken aback. Why are people not emphasizing this topic, especially in church, in seminars, and in everything? Because this topic, love, can solve all the whole problem in our society. This love aspect of society, of human social interaction, it's the key, the solution to solving all the whole problem in our society. And guess what? That is where the topic comes from. Love can solve all the whole problem, all the whole human problem, all the whole human problem. Mention them, name them. Love can solve them. So, without further ado, we are going to go ahead now and look at the, the verse of the Bible that actually said this. To my Muslim friends, I am sorry. When we want to talk about this love, we need some reference. So Bible is just one of the greatest reference. Let's see a verse of the Bible that corroborate or buttress this point, or that share flesh to this point, that love could solve all the whole problem, all the whole human problem, all the whole societal problem, all the whole. We want to see one verses of the Bible that make mention of this aspect vividly. Now we go ahead to look at the book of Romans chapter 13. Romans chapter 13. So Romans chapter 13 from verse 8. Is there a verse of the Bible? Because a lot of us in Africa, we are religious. So if we see verse of Bible, we will so believe what I am saying. But I'm going to still prove it societally, apart from Bible, that love will solve all human problems. Love will solve all human problems. So let's first of all go with the verse of Bible that said that love can solve all your human problems. Today world, there is problem here and there. News, evil thing in news. You cannot on your news 1 minute and not hear evil thing. Problem is happening that is not with us and is happening with us. Problem is happening in our contemporary society and it's happening with us right sitting down here. It's happening to us and it's happening to our neighbors, it's happening to everybody. But I have a very, very good news for you, that love can solve all these problems. All these problems. There's a lot of verse that corroborate this point, but because of time, we are just going to read all this, just one verse. It said, Romans chapter 13, verse 8, it said, "Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery." Now, one of the problems, okay, he said, "Oh, no man anything but only love." That is, forget about anything that you owe any man, whether your children, whether your wife, whether whoever. Forget about you owing them anything, but just one thing, which is called love. Now, because love, let's see, he said, "Oh, no man anything for love. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery." So there will not be adultery. There will not be stealing of somebody's wife, collecting of somebody's wife, and all this kind of things, and all those kind of unhealthy, immoral, relationship in the society. All this kind of thing would not exist if there is love. Thou shalt not kill. Of course, one of the greatest problems that we are facing today is killing through robbery, through wife killing husband, husband killing wife. Especially in Nigeria, that we have terrorism has taken over. So almost early morning, afternoon, evening, we are hearing the news, the rumors, not rumor, the news of killings. Boko Haram insurgency has spanned through the previous decade, has spanned through 2-3 decades in our beloved society. This is very, very horrible in the society, that people believe that kill people for your God. So they shout all this kind of Muslim something to kill people, thereby destroying the religion that based on love. Because these people are not actually Boko Haram. These people who this terrorism are also killing the Muslim. So it is just like that. So killing will not be there. One of the horrible things. So now, another aspect of killing that we see in Nigeria, this one is unique to only Nigeria. A lot of people believe, or this one is unique to only Africa. A lot of people believe that you need to cut somebody's head to go and use the person to make money. Ritual killing. That is ritual killing, kidnapping, all those kind of things. So here we are seeing that when we love, it will stop killing. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Now another problem with society is the aspect of stealing. Thou shalt not bear false witness. There is nobody, everybody will be saying the truth. Nobody will, bear anything like wrong record, like wrong misconception. Thou shalt not bear false. Thou shalt not covet. That is, nobody will be coveting. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So it is on this note that I come out so boldly to testify that love can solve all human problem, all societal problem, especially that of Africa. Now, I can go ahead and say my personal testimonies. When I was in university in my part 1, I have a roommate, because I came from far. The university actually is in Ife, and the roommate actually came from Ife, and so it was close. But then this roommate finished all my food that I brought from home, and when it comes to his own food, he said no, there cannot be food. He cannot be sharing with me. And his brother again come and his brother was in part 4 that time, and we are in part 1, and his brother again come and said that no, there cannot be sharing. After this boy has finished my own food, imagine that kind of pain. But when I have another food stuff again, I also still share to this boy, thereby fulfilling what aspect of the law that we should forgive. We are going to go ahead to see the definition of love, as it were, in this very teaching. I therefore fulfilled one verse of the law that said that we should forgive. And when I did this, that person actually begin to love, begin to help, begin to reciprocate. But I first of all forgive. I first of all, do all of those things before this person begin to reciprocate the nature of God in him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I like us to know that another incident that I will be talking about is so many people that are not supposed to be helping me, but because I help another poor person. So it happens that this poor person happened to give testimony. This poor individual has happened to give good testimonies before these people that are assigned to help me, that have power to help me, and these people begin to help me. This thing happened to me and my siblings like that. When I help some people, some of these people now go to some of my siblings that have money so much in UK, US, and they talk good about me. And these people who have hated me, who have forgiven me, now start helping me, because I did not sit down like that. I continue to express my love. There is a man in my house, in this very house that I'm living. that is playing music very, very loud. You know, in Nigeria, in some society, some people can be very, very nasty. This man is playing music so loud, such that nobody could stop the man. I report the man to police, I report the man to landlord association, I report the man to everywhere. Nobody could stop the man. But I now begin to help the man. I begin to help this man and I forgive him. He will play music such that Eddie will be worrying me and my wife and my child. He will play music such that I will not be able to prepare for exam, because I do exam a lot. He will play music such that I will not be able to release the excellence that is in me. But then what happened? I keep on showing him love. I keep on showing him love, helping him to sweep, helping him to do this. Even after I have fought him and the fight did not succeed. After I fought him and the fight did not make him to reduce the sound of music, because he's selling cassette, he's selling all those things, you know, and he's the landlord and he's selling cassette again. Can you imagine that kind of situation? So he have two powers. So all these kind of things. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, when I throw out this hatred, when I see this man as if he's not, I should still help him, that is when this man actually changed. You know, some people used to say that since you say that love can solve every problem, you're talking about love. What has love solved in your life? Love has solved big things in my life. Love has made quarrel between me and my wife cease. Almost 3 years, no quarrel. You can ask her, you can ask anybody. As in, no, not 3 years, 2 years. Because I married, like, I think my marriage is 3-4 years or 5 years or something like that. I cannot remember vividly, but since the first 3-4 months that we used to understand ourselves living together, because as a Christian you are not living together, that there was little argument, like the first 1 year. After that, love now sees all the whole family issues, family problems. So I am coming out to say with the fact that love can even divorce. Love can even, unite a divorce system, a divorce home, a divorce family, a broken home. Love can unite those kind of people. Ladies and gentlemen, I like us to know that love. So the verse of the Bible was talking, it said, "Oh, no man anything." He said that, and if there is any commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying. It is briefly comprehended, say, "Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." Love work no ill to his neighbor. Now, this is where the real verse of the topic comes. Love work no ill to his neighbor. Remember the topic of throughout this month that will be running. Love can solve all human problems. Now, heal simply means problem. Love work no ill. Look at that verse, Romans chapter 13, verse 10. He said, "Love work no ill to his neighbor." Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. So, ladies and gentlemen, I like you to take this thing very, very serious. Forget about that. I am just sitting here. Try to take this thing very, very seriously and watch within 1 year. Check your life, check your system, check your issues, check your activities, and see it will definitely improve nothing less than 10-20% beyond the time that you were not loving. I like you to know that. So the question is, what is this love all about? What is the definition of this love? So let's go ahead and look at this love. Love, basically, love is thinking no evil in your heart, having a pure heart, having a pure conscience, so we have that in Romans chapter 13, clearly stated that. He said, though I speak it over, he said, charity suffered long. So you will suffer long, you will continue to serve people for long. Continue to, it's kind in nature. It is kind in nature. You see, that is what we are talking about. Charity is kind in nature. It envies not. It does not envy another person. In fact, when you are succeeding around somebody who is, who have the love of God, it will even support you. It will even, ensure that you succeed the more. Vent not in itself. You will not be proud. You will not focus on yourself. You see, this topic is very, very dear to me. Charity, vent not in itself. You will not be egocentric in your approach. This aspect have to do with a time that almost everybody, almost everybody, every time that I focus on myself, I regret it bitterly. I self-destroy. You see, when you don't love, you self-destroy yourself. You self-destroy. You destroy yourself when you don't love your neighbor, when you don't see good things on people. They said in our parable, Calabar, they said if you point one finger to a person, 4 or 3 is pointing to you. If you point one finger to a person, 3, 4. If you point one finger to a person, you see this 1, 2, 3. They are pointing at me, and one is pointing at the floor. One is pointing at devil. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we are talking about. So, but because of, I want this message to be very, very short, because I will be doing short video. No, none of my video will pass 20 minutes again. So we have seen the characteristics of love. Now, who should we help? We should help the destitute. We should help orphan, homeless, fatherless, weak, disabled. So those are the people that we should love, doing justice people. Now, another question that I want to answer very, very fast is, how important is this love? You see, it is so important that we rate. It is so important that we rate this love, this commandment. Is it like, is the most important? Of course, yes, it is the most important. Old Testament, Jesus Christ Testament, and even the New Testament, it is so important. And this is why I want to go ahead and say that in the book of Acts chapter 20, in the book of Acts chapter 20 verse 35, Paul was saying that, Acts 20:35, let's go ahead and see Acts 20:35, Acts chapter 20 verse 35. Acts chapter 20 verse 35. So Paul was saying in that place that all your labor, everything, he has summarized all his teaching to help the weak and the fatherless. Acts 20:35. He said, I have shown you all things, how that so laboring you ought to support the weak and to remember the word of the Lord, which says, it is more blessed to give than to receive. I have shown you all things, how that so laboring you ought to support all your labor, all your everything that Paul is saying. I have shown you all things. All things is cycle around. You see, sometimes when we teach, or we that are instructor, or we that are, trying to guide people, when we tell him this is the most important, how that you support the weak and help the fatherless and help this thing. Of course, you know that true and pure undefiled religion, in the book of James, we see that the true and undefiled religion, in the book of James chapter 1 verse 27, he said is to help the fatherless and the widow. And of course, we know that Jesus Christ said in the book of Matthew chapter 22 verse 35 to 40, he said Jesus love God and your father and your neighbor and all these things, and that is the greatest commandment. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will be bringing this topic to a close by reading one verse in Micah. He said, I have shown you, O man, all that God required of you, that you should have mercy and show compassion to the poor. Micah chapter 6 verse 8. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on this note that I want to now bring this topic to an end, that there is one aspect that I want you to focus when it comes to love. That is this aspect that I want to say today, the aspect that will start from next week. It is the aspect of love and perfection. Love and perfection in your craft, in your doing, in your activities, in everything that you do. You need to demonstrate high degree of love and perfection, excellence in your doing. For instance, if a mechanic love the person who is repairing vehicle for Okada, for all those kind of things, for tricycle, for, he will repair the thing so well so that accident will not happen and then there will not be dead. So love, one very, very good aspect of love is the aspect of excellence, doing your work excellently, passing your exam very well, studying. For instance, somebody who is in school, if you study your mathematics very, very well, that is when you will be able to teach somebody. If you succeed in your business very, very well, that is when you will be able to help the poor and the needy, because you have succeeded in your business very, very well and you have surplus to be able to help poor people. So this is the aspect that we will be talking about today. And and throughout this month. The aspect of excellent, the aspect of coming out as the best in your craft, the aspect of becoming very, very wonderful in your work, such that you succeed tremendously. This is where you and I can perfect love. Love can be perfected. You remember, the Bible was talking about love. He said that when we love those who love us, what benefit it is. We are supposed to love those who hate us. Now, it takes money, it takes all those things for you to do all those things. Now, when it comes to when Jesus Christ was speaking about those who went to heaven, he actually talked about those. He also talked about, I was hungry and you helped me, I was thirsty and you this, I was in hospital, I was in prison, I was a stranger, I was naked. He actually talked about that. Now, all those things have to do with money. If you and I did not become excellent in our craft, we will not have acceleration, we will not go to the next level, we will not climb to the next level, we will not become, if you and I did not become excellent understanding traffic laws, we will not know that we are supposed to wait when you are coming from this angle. You are supposed to wait for those who are in the fast lane to go before you enter. If you and I did not even embrace excellence, to try to know things, to try to become excellent, to try to be perfect, to try to do good to the fullest, try to be excellent, you and I would not know that we would be destroying our destiny. You see, everybody is waiting for you to succeed. Everybody is waiting for you to succeed, for them to enjoy, for you, your success is tied to a lot of people, for them to live good, live fine. One aspect of love is to relieve people burden, is to make people happy, is to for God so loved the world and he reduced people's burden. He gave his only begotten son to come and die for the sins, for the burden. That is why the Bible said the Son of Man came to save that which was lost. A physician only come to save the sick people, not the excellent. So now what I am saying is, if you are not excellent in your craft, how can you help people? Now, if you fail, a lot of people in your society fail. A lot of things in your community will not succeed. If you did not focus and read, if you did not focus and work extremely hard to pass that exam, to pass that test, to pass that your business, if you did not have good environment to excel in whatever you do, a lot of people will suffer. And you know what? You yourself will suffer. So I am begging you today that you should put your mind towards producing excellence in whatever you do. Focus on excellence, and that is what we mean by love. When you focus on excellence, when you want to think about yourself, when you touch anything, do it with excellence. That is one very, very good aspect of love, because it is because I have fun. That's why I am even talking to you. If I have money, I would have solved everybody's problem. But why am I not having problem? Maybe because I have not put in much effort. I have not read wide. I have not done extreme research to have the money, to have the resources in order for me to counter extreme poverty in Nigeria, in order for me to solve extreme poverty in Nigeria. It is on this note that I tell you that one aspect that we are talking about today, about love. I have talked about love so much, but one aspect is for you to evaluate yourself. Whatever you are doing, are you doing it towards excellence? Are you doing it towards beautification? Are you doing it towards prosperity? So that when you prosper and you have the spirit of love, you will be able to release people in prison. You will be able to see the sick and help the sick. You will be able to do your work perfectly well, to promote the society. You as police, if you are perfect in your job, you will be able to save, you will be able to, you'll be able to solve a lot of situations. You'll be able to quench violence. If you soldiers, you lawyers, you barrister, you this thing, if you are perfect in your this thing, you'll be able to solve. Finally, we were talking about love will solve all the old societal problem. Love will solve your problem too. Psalm chapter 41, verse 1. He said, blessed is who consider the poor. The Lord will deliver him from all his problem, from all his trouble. If you consider the poor, that is love. The Lord will deliver you from all his problems. He said he will dress your bed. He will remove your enemy. Your enemy will not see your desire. They will not see their desire upon you. It will do all the old problem. He mentioned almost all the old problem there. That is when you consider the poor. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'll be bringing my teaching to an end. Thank you very much. If you also love, you help me to like this video. If you love, you help me to like this video and to subscribe to this video. I have shown you, oh man, all that God requires of you, for you to show mercy and compassion to the poor, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I want to sing this song, that àti fi yan ọmọ ènìyàn ohun tọ́lọ́run ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ni alóore ti kéde o, ẹ̀jẹ̀ rẹ̀ ń bẹ lórí rẹ̀ bó bá kú láì ní Jésù, ẹ̀jẹ̀ rẹ̀ ń bẹ lórí rẹ̀. I have shown you, oh men, all that God requires. I have showed you that Jesus Christ, the only thing that Jesus Christ asks us to do is to love God and love our neighbor. I've showed you how this brother Paul told us to do everything, all our labor, everything. The summary of all his message is to love, is to help the weak and the fatherless. I've showed you in Micah, that in Micah chapter 6 verse 8, everything in the Old Testament cycle around love. All what God wants, all what is good in the sight of God is just to love the weak, the poor and the fatherless. So ladies and gentlemen, it is on this note that I will bring this message to an end. Thank you very much. If you actually love, you will actually share this video. You actually share this video, like this video, and even drop your comment, whether good or bad, how I can serve you more. Love must be preached. As I look at the entire world, very, very few people understand this concept of love. And if I can be in Nigeria, working in Lagos, one of the busiest cities in Africa, and I work there and I still love, and I'm talking about this kind of love where I will share fight, where I will need to wait for queue for old woman to enter bus, and I will wait in a place that I've already waited for 3 hours, the only bus that came. If I could be saying that where I could carry somebody's load inside Lagos, where there is criminal and everything, where I could still be taking huge sacrifice, if I can say this, I think you too can also do it, so that we will save Nigeria from all these problems, all this quagmire that we are finding ourselves. Love you so much. God bless you. Thanks. Bye for now.